Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show, and it is time for the big match preview, if you like, a match preview of Leeds versus Brighton. I said I wanted to switch it up just ahead of this game, just because of how much riding on it. Loads of opinions flying about from every man, woman, and his dog. So I wanted to hear some different opinions other than my own. I like the sound of my own voice, I can't lie. But I did want to listen to some different opinions. So I've got Max back with me from Leeds lately. We've got JT as well. He's having some technical difficulties, so he'll be back in a sec. Lewis couldn't be here because he's out with a girlfriend, I think, maybe whining and dining. Connor's busy. Yeah. Connor's busy. KG's busy. So, this is what it is. I think people are getting sick. I think people are getting sick of Leeds United at the minute, Max. How are you anyway, mate? You good?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, apart from the obvious existential dread. I think that Chelsea game was like, I like to try and give people the benefit of the doubt and try and see the positive sides of things. Yeah. But in that game, I just thought, what is this? Yeah. This is horrendous. Just every time we got the ball in midfield, you'd look up and there's literally no one to pass to.
It was bad,
anywhere. And you're just like, how are we going to get up the pitch?
Mm-hmm. It was bad. It was bad.
So, yeah, I'm not feeling confident.
No, neither am I. Let's see what the hype man can say. He's back with us now. He's got his shirt on. He stopped doing chest press and that just before he joined us, so he's not...
Yeah. Let's do this old card again. Yeah.
I'm joking, my guy.
Well, yeah, I'm not bad. Ironically, this flipping setting up of the camera has been a microcosm of Leeds' season. Really crashing more than Mel Gibson on a way home from a night out. It's been crap, to be honest. Sorry, pardon my French, but yeah, like everyone, I'm at the end of my tether with this team. Really. I know it's a bit out of character, but
yeah,
I don't know.
It is, mate.
Don't know.
It's
getting on. I don't know. It's getting on my nerves. What I was seeing, I mean, I know we'll get into the Chelsea game a bit later. That was so poor. Chelsea and Arsenal back to back, and you're not even going to put up an ounce of a fight, an ounce of anything. But yet we're meant to put up some sort of fight and some sort of belief and some sort of hope and drive an atmosphere and try and get the club survive or safe. And they're not going to do anything to help us out. I don't know. How are you anyway?
Yeah, you know where I'm at, mate. Listen. Oh, yeah. I'm just very, very angry at the minute. And this is what I was saying. It's been such a good ride for 3 years. And we was just progress. And yeah, it has been bad this season. It has been really bad. And we've sort of fallen off a cliff. But what's happened is we're now, I don't know, I feel like you've taken away the top of the cherry on top of the cake, yeah. I'm trying my best not to say his name. But you've taken the cherry off the top of the cake and then the rest of it's just fallen like a house of cards, man. Like the squad's then looking dead. The ownership's getting pelters left, right and centre. They're not helping themselves because of the PR disasters that they're doing at the minute. The fans are now, split every which way you want. And it's just not a nice place to be. And I do believe that it isn't like a microcosm of where we are in the league, and we're losing football games. So obviously, as a fan base, we're not going to be happy. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just feel that too. In that, like I'm just like done, man. Like I spoke to Gary from Talking Short. He gave me a call today, and we were formerly of Talking Short. We were just having a chat, and I just said to him, regardless of which league we're in, I just want next season to come, because I've not even enjoyed going to Elland Road since my man went. I've not, you know what I mean? And I'm back at Elland Road tomorrow, and I'm not looking forward to it, where it was never the case before. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm done with this season. and I want it to end, and then have a summer that I can be looked for. Like, oh, we're gonna do. I know it's not all about transfers, but we all know this squad needs overhauling. Just the whole job lot needs like ripping.
Yeah, but you say you don't really care how it happens. You just want the season to end so you can look forward to the summer. If we get relegated, there's going to be nothing to look forward to in the summer. There's going to be nothing fun about seeing our club ripped apart. I mean, it's already being ripped apart from the top as it is, but seeing all of you said the cherry at the top of the cake is gone. Well, they're going to be taking slice after slice after slice if we go down. We're going to go from a premium Lindt chocolate cake, and we're going to have to try and substitute it with little Lidl home brand cake pieces and slide it in.
Don't get it twisted. Lidl brownies are the best brownie you'll ever taste, man.
They may be, but when you're comparing it to the creme de la creme.
Yeah, true. But do you not, Max, do you feel though that it needs, regardless of where we end up, do you think it needs ripping up anyway? Because if you look at the quality of the squad.
I think it's hard to say, isn't it? Because when you call Bielsa the cherry, I think he's the paper that was over the cracks. And
fair. Like that.
With an aging squad, some players really suit the way he wanted to play football. Jack Harrison is good at standing on the touchline, being as wide as humanly possible. So we've seen that even when Bielsa was here, when we asked Harrison a couple of times to play up front or to play more centrally, never really worked out. A lot of our players are the way they are because of Bielsa's system. And so then when you take Bielsa away from that, these players look a bit old and a bit tired and a bit like they don't quite suit the formation. And then it does start to think, do we need to rip it all up? Because for example, I don't want to pick on one player in particular, but Mateusz Klich, what is he for now? Yeah. Because he's not a holding midfielder. He wants to play in a more attacking role. But the more attacking players that we've got are a lot better than him in their roles. So players like him maybe become redundant when we're changing formation and style. And it's like, well, if you're going to do this, we were told that it was going to be a similar style and it was going to mesh together well. So now he's coming in and it kind of looks completely different to what we were all expecting. So we're sort of stuck in a situation where you're probably right. We do need to start ripping things up and getting new players in.
Yeah.
No, we need time. And it was always going to be a very questionable decision to change one of the most attack-minded coaches that has drilled for 3.5 seasons worth the same core players to play one way. It was basically muscle memory by that point. They knew the runs to make. They knew the passes, when to make them, how to make them. And you're going to try and tell them with 12 games to go, it doesn't matter who you bring in. You're going to try and basically tell these players, okay, now you're going to play counter-attacking football. Now you're going to completely change from man-to-man marking, to zonal marking. You're going to completely stop pressing. You're going to stop. I'm not even seeing us doing anything now. Not only can we not defend, we've gone from one of the fittest sides in the league to one of the least fit. We seem tired, but we're still not pressing at all. We're pressing about 15% as much. But yet we're still dead, yet we're still getting picked apart, yet there's still nothing in the middle. What do we actually offer now? You've ripped and I'm not trying to slack off Marsh. I don't even think like it's his fault. Like I said, it's not entirely his fault. You can get onto that in a bit, but he's you haven't given him enough time. You've just thrusted. It wasn't the right move to just thrust someone new in such a short space of time. Like, we have no identity now. We have no characteristics. What are we? What do we offer? Are we a great counter-attacking side? No. Are we a great attacking side? No. Do we play beautiful, easy on the eye football? No. Are we absolute shit houses that know how to get the best out of every situation like Atletico? No. What are we? We're just sitting ducks.
We're just dirty Leeds. When I read dirty Leeds, that's it. That's the one thing he has improved. The red cards.
I think there's three things with Marsh. One, he should have been brought in the summer. We could have had a hero's goodbye to Bielsa. Just not. He wouldn't have been fired. It just wouldn't have been a new contract. Number two is all the best counter-attacking sides, they play with width and they hit them down the wings, and they hit them where it hurts with pace out wide because they're your out balls. We don't have that. So when we look up and think, right, we're going to counter now, nothing there. And I can't remember the third thing I was going to say.
Well, this is the thing. But you know what as well, though? And it brings it back to, I mean, JT, we were chatting about before, and I'm trying my best. I really am trying my best to not make it a Jesse bash, because I know I'm guilty of doing it, and there probably is the fact, and I'll be honest, like, obviously I have so much affinity to the previous guys, so when I'm seeing it, you know, and that's another reason I was saying, like, on the phone call earlier, I just want the season to end so I can be like, start to get over it and then just look ahead then, right? Because we're still in that same season. But JT, we spoke about it, the madness of sending them out on holiday. No, it's true though, bro. What are we doing? Like, we've the more I think about it, the more it annoys me, them little things, because it's like, my main concern is the best game we've looked under Marsh was Leicester, right? And it's funny because I was listening to Square Ball, and no, it might have been Phil Ayshaw and Dan Moylan when straight away as Phil said it, he went, "Oh, you mean the least amount of time he had to work with them?" I was like, it's a good point. But I do feel the further away we get away from Bielsa, the worse the attacking outputtings come. Do you know what I mean?
Of course it is. Of course it is. It's the opposite of what happened to Newcastle. Sorry to cut you off, but it's the opposite of what happened to Newcastle when they lost Rafa Benitez. Rafa Benitez, when he was at Newcastle, he taught everyone how to defend. And then all of a sudden, they swap him out for Steve Bruce. And right at the beginning, they still kind of knew how to defend because they've been drilled by Rafa Benitez. So he could kind of get them playing a little bit more attacking football, and they still knew how to defend. When Marsh came in, he made them a little bit defensively stronger, but they still had Bielsa's philosophy ingrained in their mind, so they knew how to attack. And the longer and longer and longer you haven't had Bielsa coaching you how to attack, that's when you lose it.
Mm-hmm. It's mad though. What do you make to that, Max? The fact that he sent like the lads on holiday. Someone says 16 days to work on tactics, and he sent the lad to Butlins. It's true though, man. It's true.
Well, I think when he came in, he started talking about how the fact that because he hasn't got that long, the first thing he's going to do is change from man marking to zonal, and he's going to do these other things, but he's not going to try and instill his whole philosophy straight away because it'll be too much to handle. But I think he's done too much in terms of trying to change them over. I think the reason that it worked well at Leicester is because he came in and he changed from zonal, from man marking to zonal, but he didn't change much else. So we still played with a bit of width. We still played good attacking football. And you're right, it's because he'd only just come in and he hadn't had a chance to do that yet. So if he'd have just said, right, this season, we're going to change from man marking to zonal, but pretty much, and he's a clever man, I'm sure he can roughly replicate the way that Bielsa wanted to play, but just press differently and still have your wingers, still have your width. And then that way, we're still doing what we know and we're still creating chances, because I don't know if I mentioned it on here or if I mentioned it on one of my videos, but on the Square Ball, they were saying how even when we were losing 6-7-0 to these teams, under Bielsa, we were still having 10 shots or 13 shots or whatever. So now we're still losing 3-0 to Chelsea and we're now having no shots. So have we gone forwards or backwards?
Yeah. Exactly, man. Exactly. That's the thing, isn't it? That's the main crux of the problem. It's like, you want a pragmatism. We've got it in a sense, but we're still conceding loads of goals as well.
He could have done so well by just keeping his wingers wide, especially because everybody knows that Rafinha's leaving at the end of this season, regardless of whether we go down or stay up. He is our best player, like attacking wise. So why not play him in his preferred position? Why not play him out wide? Why not let him terrorize defenses like he has been doing for his entire time at Leeds? Why tuck him inside and just completely change the way he's been playing for the last 2 years?
Would that change anything? In terms of how we're playing, are you trying to tell me that by putting the two wingers slightly wider, that is just going to miraculously change everything we've seen, and we're going to start playing good football and not have a bunch of shirkers in there who aren't even running, who aren't even.
It's not. It's the outball that is the issue.
Yeah.
When we played Chelsea, I think it was just when you're having technical issues. I think I mentioned this. When we played Chelsea, the players would get the ball in midfield, Bate or Phillips, and they looked up, and in front of them, about 5 or 10 yards away, is Rafinha, Rodrigo, just in a crowd of Chelsea players.
Yeah.
Under Bielsa, Phillips would pick up the ball, and the first thing he would do is look to either wing. Harrison would be right out on the touchline. Rafinha would be right out on the touchline. He pings a ball over. It means that we can all squeeze up the pitch a little bit, all get out of our own half. When we played Chelsea and when we played Arsenal, you looked up, there was nobody to pass to. So the players either had to lump it into the channel, which is what they used to doing, but there's nothing there. So the ball would just turn over, or they'd pass it to a more attacking player, Rodrigo, 5-10 yards in front of him. He'd look up and he'd have the exact same problem. We're playing into a massive crowd of players. So I think having wide men, it doesn't solve all our creative problems, but it gets us up the pitch. And getting us up the pitch is what gives us the chance to create opportunities.
But the reason we could have those players wider is because we were working so much harder. Everyone else was moving forward to make the supplementary run through the inside to give them an option once they played it wide. You can't just have the out ball there and then have people stood in stationary positions, not working as hard.
I hear what you're saying, but I think Max is bang on, like, in terms of if we actually play them in the positions. And I think you make a good point, JT, about the muscle memory stuff, because I think that's genuinely the problem with Click, is that he's that well drilled in the Bielsa thing that he's still doing the same things. There's a number of times like where Click's like banging it out to the wings and there's nobody there. Do you know what I mean? And he was the one that's been having words with Jesse, and then he gets dropped and then he gets brought back on. And I genuinely feel that Click, like you say, is a bit like in no man's land. I guess he did everything really that Bielsa asked of him. And it's such a shame because for me now he looks like, I'm like, Click, you're not the same player. Like I don't know what's gone off
he
there.
Now looks like he could be a serviceable championship midfielder.
Yeah. Whereas for a period of time, I mean, Bielsa were talking about him getting Champions League teams.
Yeah, he said he would slot into any team. But
yeah, man.
I don't think he would. I think he slots into any Bielsa team because he's very good under him. I think certain players can just be excellent under a certain manager and then completely go off the boil under anybody else.
Yeah.
Victor Moses syndrome.
We haven't mentioned the holiday thing. The holiday thing, when you're trying to get your players to learn a new system, why send them away? It's all about what we were talking about when we did the midweek fix last week.
Yeah.
All about his psychology thing. He's sending them away saying, they need some time for rest and recuperation. But come on, they're used to getting in, getting hard work done, learning new tactics, learning the way that they want to play at the weekend, whatever. Don't send them away. Give them a weekend off, but like a day or two. Like, don't give them. How long did they get off?
It's not an unheard of thing, though. It's not unheard of.
No, in relegation battle.
In that period, Newcastle.
New manager in the door, JT.
Huh?
New manager in the door.
Okay, with a new manager, that's the only thing I can see about it is that
in a relegation battle.
Well, like Eddie Howe was in a relegation battle when they went on holiday.
I hear what you're saying, but at the elite level, right? At the elite level, you live and die by them decisions. Like Leeds United, for example, Radrazani. If they stay up by a point, they're not bothered. They will feel vindicated. Now, Jesse Marsh, if he keeps us up, he might look at that trip and say, "Do you know what? I feel vindicated. We've won so many games. Boom, I sent them away." But they're them little moments as a coach or at any level in any sort of job, I guess, where you make them decisions and you'll either live and die by them. And that might be a moment to look back on and think, why did I do that? Do you know what I mean? At the time, it might have felt right. They're overtrained, he's telling us. They're this, they're that. Now, I mean, I'd be going, get in there. I want double sessions, man. Do you know what I mean? It's mad.
Double murder ball.
I don't know. We could go on all night. We'll always we'll agree, disagree. But
who do you think was our best player against Chelsea?
The best player against Chelsea? I would argue, You thought Lewis Bate?
Bate was average.
I thought he's the only person who looked like he had a bit of dynamism, a little bit of mobility. He would pick the ball up and he would at least try and do something with it. Maybe he was better against Arsenal.
I'm going to call Junior, I thought Junior came on and did really well.
Senior Firpo, what did I tell you about my boy?
He did come on and do really well.
He did. He was all right. He's been all right. He has been good. He's been solid. For me, ironically, it was Dan James before he came up. You talk about the only one with a bit of dynamism getting us on the attack. Before he got himself sent off.
Please.
Huh? My headphone cut out there, didn't he? Huh?
No, I said, don't get me started on him as well.
No, but he was before he came off. He was picking the ball. He was coming deep in the midfield, and he was running at them. He earned us a dangerous free kick in there. He was taking them on. A couple of fouls. He could have earned us as well if the referee was more in our favour. If it wasn't for that stupid thing.
At full speed, we all thought it was just a proper Leeds tackle.
Mate, I did the watch along. I went,
yeah, it just looked like, and everyone in the crowd just went, yeah, God.
Yeah, of course,
They stuck in, and then my mate who I go with, somebody had sent it. I don't know how he gets signal, but somebody had sent him a video of it on the TV with a couple of replays, and even then we were like, "Is it?" And then we just saw that leg going into him, and just thought, "What?" Like,
wow, yeah, it was bad.
It wasn't like it was a game-saving tackle, was it? It was like you just halfway inside your own half.
Yeah,
and you've just flown in like that. But
and again, this comes back to, I touched it in my pre-recorded preview, how Jesse and his coaching staff had said, do you think we're over-motivating them? In a sense, we're overhyping them. We're sending them out here like Trojans, like ready to kill people on the battlefield and that. And James has seen a moment where he's gone, bang, you know what I mean? And it's like, he even said in the press conference how he felt that. He said it's not ill discipline, it's desire. And he even said, like, that's why he felt Ayling got sent off, because he was right in front of the Leeds fans and just went crashing in 2-footed. And I was listening to it going, are you really hearing yourself here? Because basically what you're saying is like, because they care too. No, I'm not having that. The professional football's got to.
Yeah, but I blame Mahatma Gandhi. I blame Gandhi. Yeah,
I don't know what.
Yeah, ruthless guy. The words.
Ayling just went 2 feet over the ball. You can't do that, ever. Like, it's not an accident, and it's not to get the fans up for it, because if you do that, you get sent off.
Yeah, exactly.
The Dan James ones, you could argue, has been coming, because the amount of times he's nailed goalkeepers and hit people this season. Joel Ward.
No, he's done it. Yeah, he does it.
It's kind of been coming, and it's just relegation battle luck that it would be on the third to last game of the season. But I mean, how ridiculous is that that's happened 2 games in a row? And I was driving to Ellen Road. My missus rang me to see where I was, see if I was nearly there. Well, the traffic was like whatever.
Driving.
Yeah, driving.
How are you going to be sinking the pints if you're driving, man?
I don't.
It's right. You don't sink the pints at Ellen Road. It's a rite of passage.
But she said, oh, it shouldn't be as bad as the Arsenal game. And I said, well, you say that, but we'll be 1-0 down within 10 minutes and have a player sent off within 30. And I literally said those words.
It was basically the same game.
It was
the same game.
Score a second
we played better against Arsenal. We played better against Arsenal.
Yeah, you could argue, couldn't you?
The second half against Arsenal.
Well, at least we showed some sort of something against Arsenal. What the hell did we show against Chelsea? And the only one player, and I do want to talk about him, you mentioned him earlier, Rafinha, gets a lot of criticism for some reason. He's the only player I've seen that actually gives a shit. He's the only one that looks like, no, I don't want to lose. I don't want to get humiliated. I don't want to get relegated. Like, you just see, even when those fans were like holding the ball against Chelsea while we were losing, and who's the one that sprints over him? Who's the one that looks visibly annoyed coming off, that looks angry when we're giving away these stupid things? Him.
Do you know what it is, JT? And I'm not in anybody's mind or can't read mine, so I'll never know. But what I'm guessing is, those that hammer in Rafinha as much as they are in terms of, I don't want him to play for my club again and all this sort of stuff, I genuinely believe it comes from a place of, like, because he's not been great of late. Now, that isn't him not wanting to be here. It's just he set his standards so high for us. There was a time in the season when he was winning games for us on his own. And when he's been asked to play at right wing back, out of position, and he's been asked to do certain things that he's not used to, then it can make it like, passing the ball 5 yards, I hear it. Like, he's a professional footballer, he should be able to do it, but no one's been able to do it. I would argue, look at other places around on the pitch. For me, Rodrigo, that guy, like, I'm near enough done with him without actually coming out, because I don't really care enough about him to be fuming about him. And that's why I think he gets away with it a lot, because all this stuff like, Rafinha don't want to be, he's going to go, all that stuff, right? He's going to go anywhere. We hear that, but he's still having a go. And it's because we expect so much of him. But someone like Rodrigo gets away with it. He's coming 27 million. There's noise that Rodrigo was one of the ones that was unhappy with Bielsa and his training methods and all this sort of stuff. And coming in, doing that, and then and a bit like Jesse's come in and think, how can I get the best out of him? Oh, he's such a good guy. What a great human. I'm going to make him part of my leadership group. He came in, he had 2 good games. Then Wednesday night, he's walking round the pitch. No one's saying it. No one's killing him in their post-match. I'm the biggest Rodrigo fan here.
Yeah, I'm the one that's always backed up for him. But that got on me, because he wasn't even busting a half a gut, let alone a gut.
I think Rodrigo has always been good against the teams at the bottom of the table. Yeah. And like even last season when he's at standout performances, like Burnley away, when he chipped the keeper and rounded the keeper for the other one, and he was like, oh my God, Rodrigo, he's class. He's never shown up in the big games. He's never played well against the top teams. He's always, and when Marsh came in and we said, oh, Rodrigo's been really good since he came in, is it the way that he's been speaking to him, or is it? It's because we played Norwich, Watford, and Norwich, Watford, Leicester, and Wolves all in a row, and they're not champions of Europe, are they? So,
what got me as well, Max, he stood in middle talking to Jorginho in a little. You lot seen it at the time. He was like talking to Jorginho like this, and it talked as though he was like telling him what kind of tactics we were trying. As though to say, like, I don't know.
He was having a chin wag. He was having a chin wag while we were. And then I was waiting. I was like, "Why are you talking to him? Why don't you go talk to Lewis Bate, who's inexperienced?" When you're like going like this, I'm like, and I'm thinking, what are you going on, man? Put a shift in, you absolute waste of space. That's not, just go speak to Bate. You've got youngsters there who aren't in a battle. You're an experienced man. You should be going and lifting them up, shoving a rocket up their ass. Not having a little chin wag while we're losing. Yeah. Let's look. We could go on all night. We've nearly done half an hour. Look, basically the temperature check is we're all fuming. We're all raging after Chelsea. We're not happy. We don't know what's going on. But tomorrow is a massive game, regardless of what the guy who's managing the team tells you, who says it's not a must-win. Do you know what I mean? And he's too busy watching the documentary to find out about Leeds United's history and all that sort of stuff. But here's what it is. But Max, how are you feeling ahead of Brighton? Can we get a result? Will we get a result? What's the thoughts?
The only thing that gives me a little bit of hope is the fact that we beat Wolves, we beat Watford, and we beat Norwich. And I don't think Brighton are better than Wolves. I don't think we'd have beat Wolves if Jimenez haven't got sent off. But I think Brighton are a beatable side. I think going into Arsenal and Chelsea, we didn't think we would get anything out of it. It's just that we didn't expect to play that badly and have players sent off. Brighton, they can be beat. We mentioned it last time on the midweek fix, didn't we? That Potter had Bielsa's number, but Potter doesn't have Marsh's number. I can't even remember our manager's name. But I did say on that show as well that you have to look at Southampton versus Brighton games, and they've all been 1-1s, 2-1s, games like score draws or goal wins by the odd goal. So I looked at that after we'd spoke about it. So the styles look like they're pretty evenly matched, and that we may be able to get some
style. We don't have a style. We don't have a style. Yeah. That's why I don't get this whole Southampton. We don't look anything like them. I haven't seen us play a single game like Southampton. in the past this
Just
season.
in terms of the way that we're supposed to be
Supposed
pressing.
to play, yeah,
supposed
exactly. Yeah.
But that's the thing, is in what I'm saying. We're not playing marsh football. We're just not
But
playing.
we can against teams of a lesser skill, I think.
Can we though? What about Watford? We got dominated by Watford. We won 3-0. We got dominated.
Did we?
By what? Yeah, they were walking through us like nothing. To quote expressions, we were a literal Premier League packet of polos, man.
I think they just had a few chances where they hit us on the break and got through.
Chances! They were coming forward at ease, man. Jesus Christ, man. We have more gaps than a waffle in that midfield. No resistance.
This guy, man. What?
It's true. Sissoko was just walking through.
No, listen, I do know, like, listen, I'm not a stats guy, but we were, well, I think now it'll be 7 games. I think we've been out XG'd in the last 7 games. So that includes, like, Watford and that. Like, I know, listen, XG, you know more than me with that stuff, Max. I'm not really a stat kind of guy, but that's not my vibe. I'm pure vibes, me. But yeah, I don't know. Listen, Brighton are a good side. They're playing really well.
Their problem's always been that they can't finish, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think even though, like you say, against Watford, we gave them a lot of chances.
Yeah.
But they couldn't finish. They were absolutely horrendous. Sarr spooned one over the stand.
Yeah.
You just hope that Brighton are the same and Danny Welbeck doesn't do whatever the hell he managed to do against us last season. That unbelievable goal where he just brought it down and put it in the back of the net. Like, they are notoriously bad at finishing. So let's just hope that they have a terrible day at the office up front, because I think it's possible to... It's possible to attack them, but they've got giant centre-backs, haven't they? They play with like 3 absolute colossuses at the back. And I was going to say, what we're going to do, throw Dan James at them, but he's red carded, so he can't. What we're going to do, throw someone small at them, unless Bamford's back.
No, I don't think he will be, will he?
No, I don't think we see him again.
Is Mopai fit? Oh, please.
Don't know, man.
Oh, I hate that guy.
Oh, yes, he is.
Do you know what? I'm not even concerned about them. I'm more concerned about Cucurella and Lampsey at fullback.
I'm more concerned about
Cucurella, by the way, as well. He's won that player of the season, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And he was about, 14, 15 million?
Yeah, mad. It's mad. JT, what are your thoughts on the game? I mean, Jesse said it's not a must-win. For me, mate, if you can't, and I said this in my preview, like, with all due respect to Brighton, because I rate Potter. I think he's a fantastic coach. He's doing great things at Brighton. But if you cannot beat Brighton at home in order to stay in the Premier League, then you probably don't deserve it. What I mean, I'm not saying they're poor. I just mean this is Ellen Road. Vociferous crowd, packed to the rafters. You're playing for Leeds United. You're at home against Brighton. It's pretty favourable. It's everything's in your side. You should be beating this side.
Should be beating one of the other sides as well. I don't think we haven't picked up a single point against top 6 side, have we? Or like the big 6.
No.
Haven't we? No. Yeah. And every other side that hasn't has also been relegated. I'm sorry, you may not expect us to go and turn over, FA Cup finalists. I mean, not winners. I was going to say Chelsea and Man Cities and Arsenals and Liverpools. But at least in a season, you should be picking something up against one of them. And then Brighton as well, not a must win. I don't know what the hell he's watching, because we're in the relegation zone. You're telling me that he wants to go down to the last game of the season with less favorable goal difference, with Burnley having an extra game in hand. We don't know what's going to happen against Spurs. We already beat Spurs once this season. It's an absolute must win. I'm telling you, man, 40 points might not even be enough.
I totally agree with you about the top 6 teams. Like you, how can we not pick up any points against them? Like a draw at least. Like, how have Everton managed to beat Man United and Chelsea within a few weeks, and yet we get battered 3 and 4-0 every time? Like, how? Like, surely at some point, why do we ship so many goals against them? Do they just never have an off day against us, or is there something more wrong with the way that we're trying to play against them? because I mean that dates back to the start of the season as well under Bielsa when we were just first day of the season. I was like, right, I'm amped up for this. We finished 9th. I went to Old Trafford, and that happened. And then since then, it's just been.
We got so much confidence because Bielsa had ended the season where he was like, we were so much tighter. Like we'd had that draw with Man United, we'd gone unbeaten the last 6 games, whatever it was.
I think we were second in the form table for the last
behind Liverpool, weren't it?
And it was like, you know what? If he's just made them little tweaks, we're going to be all right. And then first, mate, I was down in London. I did it for the Dom Robbie channel.
Good old BR Sports.
Oh mate, when Ayling scored that goal, I was bounced.
Beautiful studio, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just sat in the end like that. Oh no, man, I'm dead. Yeah, it was bad times, but
it was.
Yeah, I don't know. Boys, how do we even line up tomorrow? Like, how are you expecting us to line up? I said in my preview, I'd go 4-1-4-1. I'd just go back to it. Play Calvin where he knows. You know, play Harrison and Rafinha on either wing.
3 at the back, no?
Do you reckon he'll go with 5 at the back again?
Really?
It's our only hope. We're shocking in a 4.
We're running out of defenders though. Firpo can play left back, but then we haven't got a right back, so that's going to have to be someone like Robin Koch.
I think he'll go Koch, won't he?
Do we have 3 centre backs that we can play as well as having Robin Koch at right back?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why we need to go 3 at the back. Because last time he played Struijk left back and Koch right back against Chelsea.
Yeah, but then you've got your wing backs as well, haven't you? So do you want Rafinha to play wing back?
I think he'll go Struijk, Cooper, Llorente, Koch, and Firpo. I think
I would like to see him play 4-2-3-1, but the Rafinha and Harrison, if he's not injured, to be actually out wide, because you've still then got 3 central midfielders. You've got 2 holding and 1 attacking midfielder. So they don't play a 4-3-3, but you know what I mean, like a team that plays 3 in the midfield, you'll still have 3 in the midfield, and when we still have wide options and a striker, but. Because he wants to play 2 in front of the defence, which is fair enough, gives us a bit more stability against the lower in the table teams. So a 4-2-3-1 with players actually playing a little bit wider. Like, he doesn't have to be wide all the time. When you press it, you can tuck them in or whatever. But why is there no sort of adaptability to say, right, we've sprung their counter attack. Harrison and Rafinha, they just spread out and we play a bit more expansive. Like, why is that the worst thing in the world to Marsh?
No, I agree. And I think, people in the comments saying Shackleton, listen, I think that was a Bielsa thing. When Bielsa was doing it, people were hammering him and saying he should be playing it middle or whatever. I don't think Jesse sees Shackleton as a right back, otherwise he'd have played him there. Instead,
also, he's come back from injury that's been months.
Yeah.
So if you put Shackleton in there, you're expecting somebody who's just come back from injury to be able to deal with Lamptey on that. It'll be Lamptey, it'll be Cucurella on it on that side. You're expecting him to he's not his natural position. He's been injured for months, and Brighton's player of the season, who's a left back, will be up against him. So it's I think it's a baptism of fire. Like, I don't know.
I said that prior to Rafinha being played there against Chelsea. I just think it's too late now for Shackleton to come in and expect him to be at a level where we'll need him to be. I didn't want Koch there. I didn't want Rafinha there. I'd have preferred Dan James there. Obviously, James gets sent off. Rafinha, he'll probably start Rafinha there again, which, I'm sorry, if we lose in the manner that we do, then, to be honest, I want to change at the end of the season anyway, regardless of where we're at, but we won't get it. That's by the by. You've got Carlos Corberán there at Huddersfield. That would have been a seamless transition. Listen, I don't get the big bucks that Victor gets, but back to the game. I mean, who plays in the double pivot? Do we play Calvin and Bate? Do we bring back in Click? Who starts up top? Do you start Joffrey? Do you start Rodrigo? Who's musts for yous? Like, what do we do?
Gerhard, and I'd put Greenwood in. I don't know how fit Harrison's going to be. He said Harrison's back. I don't know why he hasn't featured Greenwood more. Greenwood, when he played, he was actually good. And again, he was someone who was actually still fighting. He looked hungry. He
He was
had
a
what?
big
2
catalyst
assists in
against
3
Wolves,
games?
wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a big catalyst. Not giving up there, managing to win the scrappy loose ball. And again, what are we putting him in a 3? Are we putting him up front? Like he has played him up front before. But I think Gelhardt and Somerville have to start for me.
I don't think we have enough defenders for the likes of Cock or Strouk to play and hold in midfield. So I think it is either going to be Click or Bate. But I'd prefer Bate in there. I think he's more naturally his position and he's got a better range of passing. Not that he needs it because everybody stood 5 yards away from him.
It's true. That's so true, bro. And yeah, Somerville's injured, but even still, Somerville in a Marsh system, what we're seeing currently, he'd just be negated, wouldn't he? Be pointless because he's just playing at right wing back.
He's another skillful winger, isn't he? That's not.
Yeah, I just don't see him being used in the system, but yeah, Bate would probably be the one for me as well. I mean, it was always going to be hard for him against Chelsea, I guess, with the quality you're going up against.
He's one of the only ones who
mate, to be honest, yeah, you're kind of right. The way we're playing, it doesn't really matter who you put in there. We've gone from turning players from water into wine to turning them from caviar to coal. It's an absolute shambles.
It certainly is. It certainly is. Who do either of you see Leeds picking up 3 points? Like, for me, yeah, I get we have to. Like, this is the thing, and people hammered me when I said it at the time, but under the previous manager, I always had belief. Right? Always had belief. Always. Now, that's gone. It's gone. So I don't know what to expect. I'm not for 1 second saying we can't win a game of football because, of course, anyone can win a game of football on their day. Do you know what I mean? But does anyone have like a real, tangible, coherent way or plan that that they think we can get something? What needs to go well in order for us to get anything? Or are we all just like praying?
I can't see how, with the way that we are sort of hoping upon hope that a Hail Mary pass over the top is going to get us in. If we've got Gelhardt up there or whoever else plays up there, they're all small, if not Bamford. I can't see us getting past them because unless we change something. So like a horrendous draw like the one earlier in the season, a 0-0 is, I I think that we'd be lucky.
It's the flip of the coin.
Yeah, is that what it? Yeah, lucky to get a 0-0. JT, you're saying flip of the coin?
Well, it's a flip of the coin of what team's gonna turn up. You know, you could have like a first half against City where we actually look good and we're actually, again, I know I said we haven't really had any identity, but we were pressing a lot. We looked actually quite energetic in that first half. And I know we didn't really create much with it, but we actually looked decent. And if we turned up like that, then yeah, why can't we cause Brighton problems? Why are we going to see fight from them? Is the penny going to finally drop? Are they going to finally realize what position they're in? Or are they going to show up again and put another limp performance in and not do anything? I'm going to have to say, you know what, we will win. And I don't have faith. I have faith. I don't have confidence. I don't have any of that for the first time, not even since Bielsa. Even under Marsh, I still had hope and faith because it was the same players. But the past two performances have just sucked that out of me. No more vision from here today. But we got to. And there's just a subtle thing in the back of my mind that is telling me it's not over yet. And I don't know. Some part of me can kind of see us staying up and me getting the train straight up to because let's make no mistakes about it, if we stay up, I'm getting that first train up to Millennium Square and I'm coming with about 10 cans of Foster's or whatever the hell I can get my hands on. And part of me can see that happening. I don't know, my heart isn't ready to accept we're out yet.
No, I hear you, and I'm not willing to accept that either. I just don't know how it's going to go. But Holy Ghost with the super chat, thank you, mate. It says peace to the gods. Big up, Joe, JT, and Max. Just while I'm on that as well, please do go subscribe to both Max and JT at both their channels. Both links are in the description. Yeah, so pop on down and subscribe while you're at it. He says, think Dan James' suspension will be a blessing in disguise. Sorry, it's all or nothing now. You guys are dope. Thank you very much for that lovely comment, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Yeah, right. So what I wanted to have a chat about, like, what's important for me, and maybe we'll see some more of what Jesse's got to offer, because I think he's just been trying to keep us in games, but obviously it's gone down after the first 5 minutes, and then we've been 10 men and all that sort of stuff. But what's important, I think, is to not concede and still be in the game at half time. I had a look at some of the stats in the lead up to it, and Brighton have won 4 and drawn 2. Just 1 defeat in 7 Premier League games now.
You're a loss there.
Yeah, well, you could say that.
Haven't won a single game this season playing in their yellow kit, which they will be wearing tomorrow.
Okay, that's nice. I like that. In the 4 league away games they've won this season, yeah, they've been leading at half time. And in their last 3 of the last 4 away games, they've scored in the first 20 minutes. So when Brighton have been leading at half time, they've gone on to win the game. And I think I've seen a stat out of the 8 games or whatever it is at Ellen Road this term, when we've conceded first, we've not gone on to get anything from the game. So I think it's highly important that if he is going to go with his back foot, we just don't crumble within the first 5-10 minutes. Because if we do, like, it's game over, man. It's game over. I just don't see how we can have the mental capabilities as a squad. You know, Connor at One Leeds spoke about it a lot, saying about the mentality of the squad, and I never really see it, but now I think we're seeing it for what it is. Or maybe my eyes are more clear now that my guy's not here anymore, but I just think if we go down 1-0 at Ellen Road, we're done. And obviously you'll be at the game as well, Max. I think, and I said this to my neighbour who lives across the way, who's from Leeds just earlier, actually. I was saying it's got a real case for it spilling over. Like, it could get quite nasty towards the board and that if things don't go to plan tomorrow, I think.
Yeah. I think on what you were saying then about them going 1-0 up, I think that's a very conscious decision by Potter to go pretty much all out for the first 10, 15 minutes, test the defence and see, because Bielsa used to do that in Championship quite a lot. He used to send them out, and for the first 10, 15 minutes, we got absolutely hell for leather trying to score a goal. And a lot of the times we would in the Championship because the quality of players that we had. But I think if Marsh can identify that, and he kind of worries me because he keeps saying, oh, yeah, we do all this video analysis, but I know that it's nowhere near what Bielsa would have done. But if he can identify that and say that, look, like what you've just said, in their away games, they push for a goal early on. Let's just not try to score. Let's not try to get ahead of ourselves straight away. And let's hold out for the first 10, 15 minutes. They think, right, we've not scored a goal. They're going to drop off a little bit. Subconsciously as well, their plan's not worked. The first stage of their plan's not worked. They haven't scored straight away. So, So then we can start to get into the game a little bit more. And I think it is all about that mental battle of their strategy for away games. Score early on, as you've said. If that hasn't worked, they tend to fall apart, don't they, and lose more games than they win when they've not scored the first goal. So I think if we can hold out a little bit early on and then start to grow into the game, instead of just doing what we did against Chelsea and Arsenal and conceding straight away.
Yeah, no, exactly, mate. You're right. And that's the thing, isn't it? Maybe I've said before, like, I almost feel sometimes that I'm maybe too quick to criticise because we haven't really got to see the plan because we conceded within the first couple of minutes. But I mean,
window, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then the frustrating thing is he just reverts back to keep doing the same thing, and it's like, well, we're behind here. We need to get something from this game. Will you please do something? And I just feel that we're not doing that.
When's the last time we actually got an early goal? I mean, say about us defending. When have we ever I can't remember.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
When are we going to take it to teams and
when did we
alleviate
score
some
against
pressure?
Norwich? I feel like that was fairly early on.
That was,
that was. And then we had about 70 minutes where it was 1-0.
Yeah.
It was about an hour. It was about an hour 1-0 up, wasn't it? And then we crumbled right at the end, and then just saved it.
Yeah.
Imagine if we hadn't have had those injury time winnings against Norwich and Wolves.
That's what I mean. Mad.
That game against Newcastle, Phil Hay kept talking about how it was the game where he think it was pivotal if we'd have won that one, and it was just a terrible. Was it a deflected Shelby free kick? Just went in. It's just like,
it was Melius punching into his own goal.
You've just to look. I was talking about this the other day. You've just to look at the trajectory of each football club since that game, as well. It kick-started Newcastle. It battered us, and had it have gone the other way, you just don't know. Maybe it'd have kick-started us again. Do you know what I mean? But we just,
Well, there was Newcastle and Everton back-to-back defeats.
Yeah, well, there you go.
We just beaten Burnley, which was massive, and then went and lost to those two.
There you go. That's how important it was, and yeah, so disappointing when you think about it.
The Southampton game as well.
Could have got more out of that.
Should have got more.
The Palace game, we were awful, but that was almost a must-win game, and I said, I tweeted out my video after that game, and the thumbnail was Rafinha with a big old panic time written behind him, ? Some guy commented straight away before I'd even watched the video, panic time, we just got a draw away in London. And I said, yeah, but look at our next fixtures. We had City, Arsenal and Chelsea next, and we've come out of them with 0 points, so it was panic time. We're now in the top 3, having not picked up a point since then, which we knew we weren't going to pick up a point in those 3 games really deep down. But
hey, amen to that. And I don't want to be the I told you so guy, because I would much rather you and Lewis had been right the whole time, Joe. But I was saying, whenever in Premier League history do you see the relegation zone stay as it is? When do you see the same team stay in it the whole time, i.e. Burnley and Everton still down there? It's only a matter of time before they start picking up points. Hence why I said the Southampton game, massive 2 points dropped. Again, like you said, the Palace game, must win, needed. And what's happened? They've gone and they've all started picking up points. And now 34 points, like you say, which were a lot of the time, you guys are saying, yeah, 34 points, 36 points should be enough. And now 34 points.
I still stand by 36.
36. So you think Burnley won't get more than 2 points, because 36 points still puts.
I don't think Burnley. No, I genuinely feel that. Okay, I hear you're saying we might need X amount to stay safe, but what I'm saying is, with the games left for both sides, I could see neither team picking up points. JT, us or Burnley.
I've said this as well. I've said since. I think it was since before these big 3 games. I said we could stay up by a point.
Yeah,
like that might be all we need.
Yeah,
1 point,
which
is ridiculous, but like
it's true.
Possible.
Someone said Adonis from Roaring Peacock said on Twitter to me, like, because obviously, if we go down on goal difference, the amount of battering Bielsa's going to get, I don't know if I can cope. But if it turns out that we stay as we are and all we needed was a point to stay up, then you don't deserve to stay up. We've got 2 games now, right? It's conceivable. Burnley, they're losing on Saturday. I'll be very, very shocked. The way Spurs dealt with Arsenal, now they're a point behind Arsenal. We needed them to beat Arsenal. They did. They're a point behind them. They're gonna beat Burnley at home. They are. I think Burnley will get beat away at Villa. It's that Newcastle game for me, But it's conceivable that they could lose them all, right? They could lose them all. And we could lose both of our next games, and it'd be like, oh, wow, all we needed was 1 win at home against Brighton. Come on. But that's the thing. That's the thing that gets me. Just before you say your piece, JT, White Peacock Andy says, loving the content, Joe. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Andy. Thanks for your continued support, pal. It means an awful lot. Do you have anything to say on that, JT, about the points thing?
I disagree. That 1 point. I don't see. I think Burnley might win. I think even if we are going to stay up, I think you might see Everton go down if we are going to stay up. Maybe. I mean, I know they're out of it, but I don't think us getting a point or 2 points is going to be enough.
So you think Burnley are going to win one of them games? Is that what you're saying to me?
Yeah, they're going to win one of them, or they're going to at least draw 2. They're going to.
I think if they're going to win one, it's going to be Newcastle on the last day of the season.
Where are they going to win? Where are they winning them?
Tottenham, maybe. Who knows? Who knows what's going to turn up?
I I think that
Who
happens
knows?
once. I think you don't beat a top team like that twice in the same season as a relegation candidate every year. Like we beat City last year and we drew in the other thing.
Yeah, but
which is
Tottenham
almost
are bottle
unheard of,
jobs, man. Tottenham are
Then-
bottle jobs.
Mate, they're not losing at home to Burnley.
Pray not.
If at lunchtime Burnley beat Tottenham, we're down. Then we're down. We're down because we'd have to beat Brighton, and then it goes to the last day, and the goal difference.
I think we have to beat Brighton anyway. I think
no, but what I'm saying is, if Tottenham get beat at home by Burnley, we're down anyway because we only have one game left after Brighton. Say we win it, we then have to do the goal difference stuff. It's not happening. So best believe tomorrow lunchtime, if Burnley do beat Tottenham, we're down. Down.
No, like I said, it might be Everton.
No, we're not.
Man,
Well,
Everton
yeah, we're not mathematically down though, are we?
No, but
if we were to win our last two and they win against Tottenham and then lose against Villa and Newcastle, like there's always a chance. There's always a chance we could stay up.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to the last day, lads?
I hope not.
Well, it has to go to. We can't stay. It can't not go to the last day for us.
Not true. But I mean, in terms of needing a result, as in we lose tomorrow.
Yeah, but even if we win, it still it still goes to the last game.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I'm talking shit, aren't I? Sorry.
We can win and they can all lose all their games, and it's.
Don't Burnley play before us though?
Yeah, they do. They play Thursday, mate. They play Thursday against Villa.
Yeah, but even if they lose both
on
of
the
their
weekend before the Brentford game.
No, their last game would be at the same time as ours. All the last games are on.
Yeah, they're on the same time.
Yeah.
So we play Sunday. They play lunchtime. Then we play. Then they play Thursday, and then they play Sunday when we play. But it's quite a good thing as well in that they play Sunday, then they've got to play Thursday, then they've got to play Sunday again. Whereas we've just got the 2 games 7 days apart. Although in that 7 days, Jesse might send them away on holiday for a couple of days. But you might not need to train. Do you know what I mean? You might not need to train him. Just got to get you sent away. Yeah, I don't know. Look, right. I'm scared. I can't lie. I understand those. I don't understand those that say I want to go down to the Championship and that. Don't, man. You need to be at the elite. You need to be at the top. Because the mad thing is,
who the hell's saying that?
Oh, people are saying it. Believe.
What kind of fraud.
But all I keep thinking about, when I have them small fleeting moments, I think about Villa, and I know this might sound mad, right? But I think about Aston Villa and them staying up basically on an incorrect goal line decision, and then once you get them 2 years in the Prem, once you get them, you're then good for a bit, right? You're then good for a bit. There's only been, I think, 3 teams in the last so many seasons that have actually done that 2 years, and then you have sort of a new bounce. You've got more money, you can go again. Then you've got these new teams are coming up, they're trying to do that bounce, and it has been Villa and it's been Wolves, and then hopefully it'll be us. I don't know.
Leicester
the other
before
team
that as well.
Leicester, there you go. But a lot of them, it's up for a season, down again. Up for a season, down again.
Those 3 are literally the Leicester who've hit the heights of winning the Premier League, and then there's Wolves who've played in the Europa League and stuff, and then there's Villa who are sort of on their way to that, and it's like the 3 stages of the journey. If we can stay up, then we have a season like Villa, then we have a season like Wolves, and then we can try and.
That's what it's about, isn't it? That's genuinely what it is about.
Villa haven't really progressed at all. They've spent more money than anyone. Their first 2 years under Dean Smith were shocking, and now
they stayed. No, this is the thing, though, JT. They stayed up. They've stayed up.
Oh no, I know they stayed up.
Bam. Then now under Stevie, trust they'll go again next season. Villa. They've already secured Coutinho in the door. Boom. I just believe that we could have made this second year so much easier by actually investing, but we chose not to.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. You look at Villa; they spent another 100 million in the summer, and we didn't.
I honestly would not feel anywhere near as bad about relegation if it wasn't for the fact that Calvin will leave.
Yeah,
because I think he'd stay if we stayed up, and then
he will.
We're also going to get about 20 million for him if we go down, probably.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Rafinha's got a 20 million release clause.
25 million, yeah.
He goes Barcelona anyway. He's already gone, man.
Yeah, but we'll probably get triple the money if.
Yeah, we'll get triple the money.
Yeah, true.
Bamford will be gone.
I think Bamford
Clark
goes
will
to
be gone.
Brighton. Cock. Yeah, I
Bamford
think a lot.
to Brighton.
Yeah, I do. I think he goes to Brighton, somewhere like that. Southampton, Brighton. Yeah. Where else is he going to go,
Do you
JT?
think Bamford will get a
Top
Premier League
16.
move?
He might not
after
because
having
of his
Tottenham.
one good
Yeah.
season and then been injured
Tottenham?
all this season.
Tottenham.
Backup, yeah.
No,
Second
man.
striker. Yeah.
Nah.
But do
Guy's
you
getting
think
England Everton.
Bamford already had a reputation for being a bit of a Premier League flop, and then he's had one good season, and then he's been injured all of this season? Do you think
Yeah.
somebody takes a risk on him, or do you think
No, maybe not.
Yeah.
No.
stays with
Everton or Newcastle, if they
Nah.
stay up.
Not
But,
Newcastle.
Yeah, because
Newcastle have already
Everton might
signed
be
Chris Wood,
losing.
which is their,
Yeah, but
their
they don't
Bamford.
want. No, but they're going to get rid of him. They want to get Dominic Calvert-Lewin from Everton, and I'm saying if Everton lose Calvert-Lewin, then they might go in for Bamford as a replacement.
Nah.
Or if not, if they can't get Calvert-Lewin, they might go for Bamford. Newcastle are not going to stay next season with Chris Wood up front.
No, but they're not going to go for Bamford, bro. They're going to buy someone for about 50, 60 mil. Like,
Yeah,
trust me.
Bamford would go for 50 mil if we hadn't get relegated.
Come on, JT, man.
Bamford was this
He's
close
played
to
once.
playing in the World
He's
Cup.
played 45 minutes for England, man. Let's not get.
No, that's what I'm
Bamford's probably
saying.
worth
Because
about
he got
25
injured.
million.
Yeah.
If he didn't get injured, he was this close to becoming a regular. He's been good this year. He's been very good this year. And the reason that we haven't is because we've lost him. You've yanked out 37.8% of our goal output. And then you've taken that out of our side. That's why we're struggling, is because we're seeing, okay, you know what? That Patrick Bamford geezer, he was actually pretty important, wasn't he?
Trust me, Patrick Bamford does not go to Newcastle.
He's better than a Brighton.
See, I think you're being disrespectful to Brighton. Brighton are a good striker.
No, I'm
away
not.
from being a
Brighton.
top side.
No, they're not. Brighton do not have the infrastructure to become a top side. They do not have the club infrastructure. Within a couple of years, they will diminish out. The whole reason why Leeds had the ability in the first place to keep a player like Calvin Phillips and a Patrick Bamford, despite being in the position we were in the Premier League, is because the infrastructure is there. Yeah, ninth. 2 points off Europe.
Position, bro.
No, but that's not a great position. You're talking about players that could be playing in Europe or should be playing in Europe. But the reason why is because there's a hundred. Why not? Well, after last year's performance, he was definitely European.
Europe.
I thought Arsenal could have done with him last year.
Nah, man, you're on smart, JT, man.
Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea. Last year,
Son and Kulusevski. You're on about shipping.
Yeah. What? Son and Kulusevski are not number 9s.
No,
What? You telling me Bamford couldn't be a backup to them? They wanted Bamford. They wanted Bamford.
Right.
He could definitely be a backup.
Who told you that? Who told you that? That thingy, what's it called? What's that thing called, man? Oh, what's that?
What?
Oh, I don't know what it is.
News now?
One of the rubbish news outlets, anyway.
Oh, the Sun.
Yeah, if you like.
No.
I'll take a wager with you now. I'll take a wager with you now, then, right?
Go on.
That if we go down and Patrick Bamford's sold, yeah, he doesn't go to a team that finishes in the top half this season.
I don't know about that.
We'll take the bet then.
All right, I'll take the bet.
There you go. There you go. A charity bet. We'll have a charity bet.
Okay, well, no, hang on a second. No, the two teams I said Everton could be an option, and they're not going to finish top half. So
no,
got to shoot them.
But he still won't go to
I'm saying he won't go to a crappy Southampton or a Brighton. That's for sure. I mean, ironic class me calling them crappy when we're down in Schitt's Creek, but plus it's off the year he's had. I'm talking as well off of last year, off of his performances.
Yeah. Also, I think Bamford would make Brighton's XG even worse.
That's a good point.
Because
worse, he makes it better.
Yeah, no, when you looked, I think there was a stat on the Premier League website last season of how many chances a striker has had, and Bamford just had the top amount of chances of any striker. Obviously, still scored a decent amount of goals, but in the Championship, it was the most profligate striker you could find.
In the Championship, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. In the Championship,
he only scored 3 more goals.
2 different players. 3 more goals, yeah, in a considerably less amount of games and against a lot higher opposition.
Yeah.
So that's basically equivalent to 15 to 20 more goals. Look at Mitrovic, who scored 43 goals, and then he goes in the Premier League and scores about 10.
Let's have it right. What I will say on Bamford, right? Really, yeah, great what he done, right? But that first season back, every time, nearly every ball that he touched sometimes, them goals that he scored against Villa, I've never seen Bamford do anything like that. That goal against Leicester, I've never seen him do anything like that.
Exactly. He was developing. He developed, and that's what I'm saying. Why are you saying he can't kick on?
He just had a whole form. He's like Michu.
You're talking about
like Michu, man.
The thing is we don't know. But the proof in the pudding that it wasn't just that is that without him we've struggled so much.
Yeah,
that's the proof in the pudding.
Yeah, of course. No,
because not only did he score goals, but he created a lot of chances for people.
No, I'm not for 1 second. Listen, I want him in the side, and I've said as well, JT. If we had him for this season, we won't be where we are. I just don't see him making the lofty moves that you've mentioned. You've mentioned Arsenal. You've mentioned Tottenham.
Yeah. What, Nketiah and Lacazette?
Yeah, but they're not going to be there next season. They're binning them both off.
Nketiah might be.
Well, yeah, but he won't
Should
start. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, JT. Would you like an egg?
No, thank you.
I got Haribo egg.
It's got a hole in it. Oh.
Well, it's because of green screen, but then again, why would it? Because it's yellow, innit? I don't understand why. Right. So, give us some score predictions, folks. Are we staying up, JT?
I have to say yes. What's the point in saying no? Yeah, we are. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
No, because like Connor over on One Lead says it's done. We're done.
I've seen. Yeah, but I've seen. I can't. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like that.
I can't admit that it's done. No.
Yeah.
There's still a chance. Look, I don't have hope. I don't have high hope. I have a sickening feeling in my stomach because of the way that they've let me down and let us down. And to be honest, I had a whole rant ready to come out, but I've kind of cooled down as the things gone on. I was ready to explode an hour ago, but nah.
It's good though, it's like therapy, innit? It's like therapy.
It is, but that's the thing. I'm glad I could speak to you guys because usually, the only person I really speak to is my dad, but I can't even talk to my dad about Leeds anymore because it's already painful enough to feel the pain that it's causing me. But because I care about him so much, to see the pain that it would cause him when we speak about it, it's just double the pain. And it's literally too painful to even talk about Leeds with my dad. That's how rough it is. But yeah, no, maybe there's just sometimes I just get these little like feelings that, yeah, you know what, we'll stay up. I don't know. I'm not ready to accept it's over yet.
Yeah. Give me a score prediction then.
4-0. That's what I'm saying. I love that. We're not gonna scrape it. All right. We're either gonna show something mesmeric that no one's seen coming and go on a tear in these last two games, or we're gonna shit the bed and go down. We're not just gonna scrape through them. All right. So.
10 minutes ago, you were saying where are our chances come from? We can't quite. 4-0.
4-0. He's the hype man. Don't man, if you carry on, you're the sort of guy that Jesse would look at and go, you know what? I think that might work. Getting him in the corner, just letting him tell them how much he means.
Yeah, well, like I said last time, that worked great, didn't it? Get the pacifist Gandhi on the phone and get another red card.
Definitely. Yeah, Max, come on then. Are we staying up? What's the score?
I've got to cop out and say heart says yes, head says no.
Really?
I just think let's just base it on what I've seen the last time I went to Ellen Road, and it was just we just didn't create anything. We didn't create a chance that looked scoreable. So I'm just thinking, how are we going to create any more? But heart says they're going to prove me wrong, and they're going to create chances. And the game tomorrow is going to be. We're going to win 2-1.
2-1.
We're going to be 2-0 up, and then they're going to score in the second half. And we are going to spend the last 20 minutes squeaky bum time thinking, oh my God, they're going to equalise. Oh my God, they're going to equalise, and they're not.
Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully not. If they score first,
that was more specific than I was thinking.
Yeah.
But if it happens, I did it again for the Chelsea and Arsenal games. Remember what I said before? I said exactly that's going to happen. So we're going to have the exact same thing. Mystic Max.
I love that, Mystic Max. I love that.
Wow.
The Doctor's got 2-1. Steve Brown 2-1. Matt 2-1. We've got Gipton Gimp, which is the best name on YouTube. He's got 3-1. Les Hughes has got 4-1 Brighton. 1-1, 2-1, 2-0 Brighton.
Quite a few 2-1s.
Yeah, Harmony. And to be fair, Harmony mentioned this and said, because I put a bet on Mo Salah earlier on to score, and they gave me it back because he got injured. So they said, here's a £5 free bet. And Harmony said, put this on. So while we were chatting, I seen her put it. So I put it on. She said, I think, is it 20 years to the day or something, Harmony, since we last beat?
To this day.
I think I swear I seen a comment from Harmony, something like 20 years to the day or something since we beat them 2-1. Yeah, it's gonna happen. So I was like, do you know what? I'm having some of that.
So what you got? What are you going for? What are you going for, fella?
2-1. Yeah,
you are going 2-1.
Yes, I'm gonna go 2-1. I put money on 2-1. Hopefully,
do we concede first? Concede at the end? Concede.
We can't concede first. We can't concede first. If we concede first, we're done. We're done. Great. Do you know what?
Perfect to score either side of half time, innit?
Yeah, for sure.
That would be lovely.
This is going to be great when we concede in the second minute.
Oh, don't, man. I think
I'll
I'll
get earlier and earlier. What
no, I'm just kidding. It's going to be 4-0, so we can't concede.
I can't, man, because
also
40 years tomorrow.
Minute.
That's it. 40 years tomorrow since we beat Brighton 2-1. 40 years to the day.
Wow. I remember it like it was yesterday.
I don't know. I think what's scary, it's scaring me, but what's worrying me the most
is not scary.
Genuinely, what's worrying me the most is Ellen Road becoming very, very nasty and not a nice place tomorrow.
I don't know if it will come nasty, but I mean, you were there, weren't you? You were, Max, you were there last week, right?
Yeah.
And you know, they were trying to muster up at the end there, you know, against City, and they were going crazy behind, and there was all this atmosphere going, and I saw a few people saying, yeah, we did it again against Chelsea, but it just seemed flat. It seemed like forced. It seemed like they were, you know, when you're like really upset and you try and pretend to be happy and put on a fake smile and stuff, but you're not smiling from the eyes. That's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah. So throughout the game, there was obviously the "We hate Chelsea" chants and general quite a good atmosphere because it's against Chelsea. But it was the same with the City game. It was right towards the end, the last sort of 10, 15 minutes. We just sang "We All Love Leeds" and just didn't stop singing that. But I said on my match day vlog that I did from it, I think it's just pure defiance of what's happening in front of us, how bad the team is and everything. We're just going to sing our hearts out, and that's because that's all you can do. What else can you do?
Against City, like I could feel it. I could feel it against City, like when they were singing it, like I could feel the energy. Against Chelsea, it seemed like it was about half as much, half as loud, half as energetic.
It wasn't as good as the City one, but it was still a proper marching on together and stuff at full time.
Yeah, I mean, I was hearing it through the headphones. Obviously, if you're there, probably a different story. But
I know what you mean. Though it was, I think this one was more defiance and more like this. What we've actually watched football wise is horrendous. So let's just sing. There wasn't a lot of chanting towards Marsh or the board or anything. There was murmurs of someone was saying, "Oh, well, let's all." Start chanting Marcelo Bielsa, but that never happened. But there was the usual, just people complaining constantly, just people just getting so frustrated with it.
It's minging, and yeah. Anyway, let's try leave it on a positive note. Leeds United is staying up.
4-0.
It up. Yeah, 4-0. I'll be going to the game tomorrow, so there'll be no watch along at my end. But when I do land after full time, I will be doing my post match. So watch out for that.
You're not going to be on tomorrow?
No, mate. No. So
if anyone is stuck at home, come over this way because I couldn't get tickets. You lucky buggers.
Yeah. So there you go. So follow JT over on his channel. Link is in the description. We'll be doing a watch along. For the channel, so make sure you do that. Post-match content as well. Post-match content as well, JT.
Oh yeah. Post-match. I'll be getting out there. for sure. Hopefully, a celebration. If not, I don't know. That post-match video from all of us is going to be... it's going to be one or two ways. So you're going to be happy or with.
We're either going to look like that filter that everybody's using at the moment of when it makes you look like you're crying, or we're going to be running around screaming.
I mean, Lewis joked about it before, but depending on what happens next week, we're going to either turn up for the midweek fix or the midweek fuck, and that's how it's going to be. Part of my French.
Yes,
but yeah,
and the watershed now.
Yeah, exactly. Lewis did tell me to say as well, like, if we lose tomorrow, we're down. That's what he thinks. Max, what about over on Leeds lately? What can the people expect?
Well, it'll be a match day vlog from tomorrow, and then a bit of a reaction as I'm leaving, because I like to do a reaction as I'm leaving, so that it's still fresh in the mind, and I don't have time to like dwell on it and get home and do it. And I just record what I'm feeling there and then as I'm leaving Elland Road, and it's that'll be up tomorrow night, and then obviously I'll probably do a bit of a preview for the Brentford game. Probably depending on whether we're down by that time or not.
That's what I'm saying. That's the thing, isn't it? Like, that's the thing. At that point at the end of the season, I might just be like, I can't be arsed anymore. Right? See you next season, people.
Well, before we go, it sounds like you're wrapping up. We've got 345 people in here. Only 173 likes here. If that's not by 200 by the time we finish, going to be serious problems, fella. Get that number out now. Slap it up. Get it to 200. And then we'll call it a day. Vamos, carajo.
Yeah. And if people have liked this as well, let me know in the comments if you'd like us to do a bit more live previews, post matches as well, to run alongside the pre-recorded stuff. That I'm sure the lads would be happy to get together before and after games and whatnot. So just let us know in the comments and let us know if you've liked this, and we'll see you very soon. Head over to Leeds Lately, JT Live, smash a like, subscribe, and all that jazz, and we'll. See you during the week at some point. I think, depending on